Hi there, students. To muffle, to make a sound quieter, to make it less clear, normally by wrapping it in something, putting it in something. So he tried to muffle his alarm clock by putting it under the pillow. A muffler is a word for a scarf, and that wraps around you to keep you warm. The exhaust system on a car, the exhaust pipe, in America they call it the muffler because it reduces the sound that comes out of a car. To muffle, to wrap something up to keep them warm. She muffled the dog up in a blanket and then muffled herself with a muffler. Let's see. A muff. What is a muff? Okay, a muff is something warm where you put both of your hands in. It's a tube and it's got holes either end, and you put your hands in it to keep warm. Very often, I think you see Russians wearing a muff to keep warm, to keep your hands warm. And therefore to muffle, to wrap up, to protect, to keep warm. To reduce the sound that comes out of something. So if something muffles a sound, it makes it more difficult to hear. I heard a muffled shout from behind me, stifled. And then you can also use this metaphorically to muffle somebody, to gag them, to stop them from saying something, to deaden the sound of what they're saying, but to literally to hide what they were saying. So to muffle, to reduce the message of something, or to stop somebody from giving out a message. She wore earplugs to muffle the sound of my snoring. He muffled his laughter with his hand. The thick curtains muffled the noise from the road outside. The muffler of a car is designed to muffle the engine of a noise. The pillows muffled her screams. The snowfall muffled the sound of the footsteps on the street. She used a blanket to muffle the baby's crying. The sound of the waves was muffled by the cliffs. He used his jacket to muffle the sound of the alarm. I could hear muffled music coming from the room next door. He did his utmost to muffle his feelings. So here we've got it used metaphorically. To muffle muffle somebody's message, to reduce it, to stifle it, to deaden it, to suppress it. So to muffle, to wrap up, to protect. Yeah. So I muffled myself with a muffler and a hat and a muff. To wrap or pad with something to dull the sound. So to muffle the sound of the oars, to deaden the sound of something, or to keep down, to suppress. He muffled his anger and said nothing, to stifle, to make a sound less clear, especially by covering up. Her voice was muffled by the pillow, which had hidden her face. To muffle up as well, to cover yourself or someone else with something thick and warm, to wrap up. She arrived muffled up in a thick coat. The falling snow muffled all sounds. Okay, so to muffle, to make a sound quiet, to make it less clear, or to wrap something around something to keep it warm. He muffled his cough by covering his hand with his mouth. I muffled the child in a small blanket. He muffled his face in a scarf to block the cold wind, to make less clear, less strong. The visibility was muffled by the thick fog. The news was muffled by other things that were happening in people's lives. Okay, so to muffle, to cover, to wrap up, to wrap up warm. Now also notice a muffle can be a receptacle in a furnace where things can be heated without contact with the combustion product. So you've got maybe an oven, which is a box, and beside it some things are burning, but there's no transfer between the two. A muffle furnace, for example. So let's see, from Old French, émoufler or moufler, to a thick glove. Okay, so to muffle, to reduce the sound of something. Formality, 5 informality, use anywhere. So muffle, muffler, muff. Bye for now.